Hey everybody, it's Sue Craig, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Cleveland, Ohio. And today I have another card to show you. This card is a pretty simple card, but it's also a little bit different. And that's what I like. I like to do something that will cause attention and something that will make the person who gets it kind of remember it and remember you. So today, this little card, this pulls out and it has a greeting inside. This is really good for this time of year when you don't have a whole lot that you want to say to somebody, perhaps like a casual acquaintance, or sometimes if you're doing things like a sympathy card and you don't have a lot that you really want to write but you want to say something sincere. This is the type of card you can use. So today I'm going to show you how to make it. The stamp set that I'm using today is called Hope You Know, and Hope You Know is from the annual catalog. One of the things I really like about this is that it has so many different types of greetings. Wish you comfort, miss you, hello friend, thinking of you. We're going to be using this set today, and I'll be pairing it together with hello friend, you are my sunshine. Let's get started. We're going to use a couple punches today. One of the punches is called the Bough punch, and the Bough punch was used just for this little piece, and I did this in Shy Shamrock paper. The other punch we're going to use is called Petal Park, and Petal Park is in the annual catalog. I like it because it gives you 3 different sizes of petals, plus it also gives you a leaf. The things we're going to need. You're going to need a 1 3/4 inch circle. Now, actually, it could be any size circle, but you have to keep in mind that your circle can't overpower the front of this little piece that opens up. I used the die from a new stamp set to me, and it's called Happy Hibiscus. I'll be doing some cards with that too. So anyway, any 1 3/4 inch circle will be fine. You're going to need designer series paper. One piece you're going to need is 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. Another designer series piece is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Keep in mind, I'm going to keep all these measurements and put them on the video so you don't have to write anything down. The next piece is a 3 inch by 3 inch square that I cut on the diagonal. So this is nice, you can do 2 cards at once. This piece of designer paper is 4 by 5 1/4. What I didn't tell you though is this is brand new designer series paper. It's coming out in the Sale-a-Bration catalog in January, and it's called Bloom Impressions. And I'm telling you, it has some very gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of paper on it. They have a plain kind of watercolored look on the back of some of them, and then a beautiful, beautiful flowers on the front. We know Stampin' Up! Is popular for their beautiful designer paper. Alright, for the inside of our small card that opens, you need a piece of white paper, 2.5 by 4 inches. This is cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I cut it diagonally. This piece of paper is 3 by 8.5, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. This is going to make your small card that opens. The last piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now this is a 1/4 sheet of our cardstock. And this is Petunia Pop. This cardstock is Petunia Pop. We're going to be using Unbounded Beauty Oh, this goes with Unbounded Beauty. Sorry about that. We're going to be using Shimmer Gems to go with this. All right, let's get started. To begin, we're going to take our cardstock and we're going to put our designer series paper on top. This is a very easy card just to build, put together. It's also an easy card to just cut several different cards at once and put it together so that you have blank cards that are ready to have sentiments added to them when you need them. So we have that piece done. Now we're going to take this piece and close it and use our bone folder. And we're going to take our smaller piece here and add it to the front. Usually I grab opposite corners and I place my paper just above the cardstock, get it where I want it, and then push down. We're going to take the designer series paper and add it to this triangle. Sometimes it's easier when you line things up to hold them in your hand like this. You can see I don't have this paper pushed down yet. I'm trying to gauge the paper so that I have an even border all the way around. Okay. This little piece is going to go at the bottom of this piece. I'm going to wait to put this on in case I make a mistake stamping my sentiment, then I can turn it over. And speaking of stamping, let's get to that. I'm going to take my circle for my greeting on the front, and I'm going to be using Blackberry Bliss for my color today. The first one is going to say, "Hello, friend." I stamped it up higher just in case I want to add something below it, like a flower. I'm going to add my inside sentiment now. And this is one that I fell in love with. It says, "You are the sunshine that brightens so many of my days." Alright, we did fairly well with that. So let's take our adhesive and we'll add the bottom strip. You can see this is going together very quickly. Maybe not straight, but it's going together quickly. There we go. Alright. Let's take this piece and we're going to add it to the inside. I will show you one thing that I do when I am gluing. When I'm gluing, instead of putting the glue on the paper that I'm going to be placing into the card, I put the glue on the card base or where the card stock is going to end up, and I go in just a little bit. Okay, then when I handle this piece, I'm not getting glue on my hands at all. I can again hold the corners, line it up over where I have my glue, and press down. That helps you to be able to use the glue, which gives you some wiggle room when you're lining things up, and it also keeps your hands from getting glue on them. If you get glue on them, you can always use your hand sanitizer. The alcohol in your hand sanitizer will cut through the glue and the stickiness, and you'll be good to go. All right, we have our triangle to add to our card base because this is going to go on, and then this piece will fit in here. Now what I want to show you is that when I put this piece on like this. I'm going to turn it over and you're going to see that there's not a whole lot of room here for adhesive. And my adhesive, you can see, is about 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use glue on this. And because this is only a partial piece, I'm going to use the glue right on this piece. I know I just told you to put it on the card base, but this is going to be a hard one to line up, so I'm just going to add my glue. And a lot of times I will tap it off to the side and get it started so that when I get to my cardstock, I'm not going to get a blob. And I want to try to stay close to the edge here. And I'm going to pick it up so that I'm holding on to the long edge that does not have glue on it at all. I'm going to line this edge of the triangle up with the edge of this card. If you like having a border like this, you could line it up here so that you can see this cardstock. Or if you don't like that, you can line it up here so that you don't see anything. It just is flush with the edge of the card. So we're going to push that down. All right, we're going to add our sentiment, but what I found is if you push, if you let that dry, if you push this in, it'll give you a good idea of where to place your sentiment. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back and then kind of center this. There we go. All right, one thing I forgot to tell you we're going to need is 12 inches of ribbon. You choose what you want. I love this white ribbon with the silver edge on it. Another reason I love to get white ribbon like this is that I can make it the color I want. I can use my alcohol markers to color the ribbon. It dries quickly, it won't come off on my hands, and it will match my card. Now I want to leave this white for today, but maybe in another video I'll show you how that's done. So all I'm going to do now is to take my ribbon, put it inside, and tie a knot. Put my hand down there. I also have reverse tweezers. These are one of the best tools you can get. Very inexpensive. You're just going to put that in there to hold that down for you so you don't struggle tying your knot. Then you can also put your finger down, release that, and as you pull, that will help you to make your knot flat so that you don't have a big bump when this goes through the mail. Whenever I do ribbon, I like to have fancy tails, and so I take my ribbon and I fold it in half. The fold side is over here. I cut from the fold side diagonally to the edge, and that's going to give me a pretty edge. Do the same thing. I'm going to fold it. Here's the fold side. I'm going to cut from the fold side to the end diagonally, and now I have a pretty tail on that. Okay, now my card is almost done, and I want to show you something that a friend showed me. I told you we were going to use these flowers. And I remember years ago we used to put flowers in our hand and push down with our tools and and make our flowers dimensional. Well, she showed me another way that you can do it using these tweezers again. And I want to show you, I've already done 2 of them. I'll show you how I did them, but I want to show you how dimensional they are. They just look pretty to me. Here's what I did. I took my tweezers and I put them in the middle of that flower, and I'm just going to twist it away from me. Very carefully put it in the center there, twist it. What it's doing is it's making a ridge there, and it's going to give the flower some very pretty dimension. One thing we can also do is add our flowers down here if we like, or we can add something up here. We could do one down here, or 2 down here, and 1 up there. You get to decide how that gets handled, but I want to give you some options. On my sample, I did 3 of them down here with my leaf, and then 1 right here. Well, that's our card for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you give it a try. And thanks for watching.